Today I'll show you my 2022 everyday carry drone essentials because I'm tired of missing out potential amazing shots. So now these are the things I don't leave the house without, making sure that I have everything I need with me. Let's check it out. Plenty of things to cover in today's video, so make sure you check the description for some timestamps if you're only interested in a specific portion of the video. Now let's start with the backpacks first, as they really tend to vary depending on the type of project I have planned for the day, but usually my everyday carry goes inside this one. So this is the Low Pro Tactic 450 AW2, and I love this backpack for a couple of different reasons. First, it packs a whole bunch of gear inside and you're able to arrange everything inside as you wish, and the backside is really comfortable and soft, so when you carry this backpack on your back for longer periods of time, it will not be painful. It's made of some really high quality materials because I've been using it for the past couple of years now and it still looks brand new. The other backpack that I use from time to time is this one, Torval Quad Pitstop Pro. This is an FPV backpack, but it also has a ton of different compartments, so it can be used as an everyday backpack depending on how much gear you want to carry with you. Sometimes I tend to overpack a little bit, so if things don't go inside the Low Pro backpack, then they will most definitely go inside this one because it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit heavier as well, but it can pack pretty much everything I needed to pack. Next on the list we have the camera drones, and the camera drone of choice for me is no surprise, it's the DJI Mavic 3. This is the standard Mavic 3, not the Cine version, but I believe this one is perfectly fine for my needs for YouTube and for all the things I usually shoot. This is pretty much perfect and it gets the job done, and I still believe this is the best drone I currently own. So that's why it always has a place in my backpack. On the front of the drone, as you might be able to see, I currently have an ND16 PL filter, part of Polar Pro's Director's Collection made for the Mavic 3. This filter set is amazing. I highly recommend it to you if you have a Mavic 3. It's a great investment, so you can use the full potential of this drone to your advantage. It has some pretty cool filters inside, and I'll link the video I made for these filters in the description if you want to learn more. Besides the rest of the filters, I also of course bring the controller, and I tend to not bring any more batteries with me. If it's an accidental shoot that I want to film during the day, for the most part one battery is enough. If I plan something bigger, of course, then I bring all of my batteries, but for the most part I just use the battery that I have on the drone in case something happens and I want to shoot that. Next, we need to explore the FPV side of things because, as you guys know, I have a huge passion for flying FPV. I started 2.5 years ago and I absolutely love this hobby. But the most interesting aspect of my current FPV setup is that it's not HD. I'm currently testing out an analog build, which is a custom build. I will list all the components on the screen right now, but that also means that I'm not using the DJI FPV goggles currently. I'm using these instead. These are the Orca FPV Pilot 1 goggles. They are super compact, super stylish and sleek, and they are very, very comfortable as well. These are my first pair of analog goggles that I ever owned. Thanks to Orca FPV for sending them out to me so I can check them out, and so far I really like them. Now, it's a very different experience to fly analog compared to flying digital with the DJI FPV goggles, and I would say they both have their place in the FPV hobby, and I also have love for both. I'm not 100% convinced I will keep using analog drones because the difference in the quality inside the goggles is that huge. However, in the analog setup that I currently have, you don't have any lag and you also don't have any blurriness inside your goggles when you start losing that signal. And it definitely has a little bit of a learning curve to understand how the signal degrades, how the signal works when it comes to analog drones. The quality, of course, is definitely subpar compared to DJI and digital systems in general. So that's probably my main concern going forward with this current setup. I use these goggles with a rapid fire module on the side here, and I currently have a luminaire stubby antenna and a true RC patch antenna for a very minimal look that doesn't take too much space. They also have some really cool features that I didn't know about, such as There is an alarm when you tilt your head down, so when you fly, you tend to keep your head down automatically, and there's an alarm that you can set up that is going to make those goggles beep, so you can keep your head up and not lose that signal. You also have something which is called FPV Connect, which is a little module that you install here on one of the sides of the goggles, which allows you to directly live stream the signal that you get on your phone, and you also have access to your DVRs directly after connecting to the app, which is pretty cool and is something new for me, which I hadn't seen before. Something else which Orca offers, which is not on the goggles but is on their FPV controller, which I keep at home mostly, is the ability to use that remote to wirelessly fly on their simulator app, which works on your phone. So you can simply fire up that app, power on the controller, and start flying on the simulator wherever you are. You only need your phone and the remote controller, which is pretty cool. Speaking of radios, this is the radio I currently use for FPV. This is the Jumper T18, and it has the same form factor and pretty much looks exactly the same as the most popular FPV radio out there, the Radiomaster TX16S. So I'm currently using this one, but I'm always open to checking out other ones, and I have a couple of different radios coming in the mail very soon, which I'm very curious to check out as well. And finally, for the FPV part, the action camera I tend to use the most and I carry with me every day is the GoPro Hero 10 Black, of course, with a Polar Pro ND filters on it. I have some 3D printed mounts for it on pretty much all of my drones, so it's really easy to put it on, start shooting with it straight away, and we're good to go. Next, we need to talk about cameras. Currently, I'm filming on a Sony a6600 with a Sigma 16mm f1.4. This is an absolute beast of a camera. It's a very light, compact, and easy to carry with you everywhere you go. I tend to bring that camera with me when I'm planning to shoot something outside and I need something more compact, because when I'm in the studio, I use this one. This is the Sony a7 III with a Tamron 28 to 75mm f2.8. It is a lot more heavy, a lot less compact, but it allows me to shoot a lot more dynamic scenes with it. I have a variable ND filter on the front from Polar Pro, and this is the Misc edition, which I tend to put on when I'm using my lens to shoot some B-roll. I love the look this Misc edition variable ND filter gives to my footage, and I use it mostly for B-roll. Of course, you can film outside without one of these. This is the Joby GorillaPod 5K. It's very sturdy, very nice tripod that is bendy, and you can put it pretty much anywhere you want to. And for the microphone, this is the one I have been using for years. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro. It's not the Plus, so you need to remember to turn it on, otherwise it will be a disaster, and I've done it many times. So yeah, I need to change that ASAP, but for now it still works fine for my camera, for vlogging and for some of these scenarios where I want to have a shotgun microphone. And of course it has the dead cat attachment on it, so we can avoid that annoying wind noise. Now, of course, no EDC is full without your computer gear, so of course we'll need to talk about that. And here we have my M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro with 32 GB of RAM, 1 TB SSD, 24 cores GPU, and a really cool, in my opinion, D-brand skin on it, so it doesn't scratch when I take it out of the bag all the time. This machine is an absolute powerhouse, and it's a big game changer for me, being able to edit on the go, edit in the office, but also at home. I have all the freedom in the world to create the content that I want, and now finally I have a computer that can keep up with all the tasks I give to it, because previously I've had a lot of struggles with my previous computers not being able to catch up with all the tasks I push them through. Here we don't have any issues on the M1 Max MacBook Pro, and I absolutely love it. It has been a little bit big in the beginning for me, and it took me a little while to get used to it, but now I really don't want to look back, because this size is perfect for me and it fits all my backpacks. I can carry it everywhere I want to, and I can work outside if I need to, something which has never been possible before for me. And something which I also carry with me is this external SSD drive from SanDisk. This is the 2TB version of this external SSD, and I tend to carry it with me everywhere I go because this is where I edit all of my projects off, and with the 2TB capacity, it's big enough to hold all of my current files that I'm using. And the final two things I carry with me every single day are these two. This is a set of AirPods. These are the original AirPods, but I still love them. I still use them a lot and they sound great. And this is a pocket knife that I actually picked up quite recently. I wasn't sure if I'm going to use it, but I'm quite surprised to say that there are many situations during the day where we actually need something sharp, and this gets the job done. So I highly recommend you to get a pocket knife that you can use for your day-to-day activities. And that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It's been pretty long, I know, but I love watching other people's setups and everyday carries. So hopefully you did enjoy this one as well. Let me know if you did in the comment section below. Subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Ciao.